Hello, I am Dr. Julian Joyner. So excited to be here on this evening. I'm going to introduce this queen momentarily, but I want to tell you why we are here. There is a proposed constitutional amendment in which Virginians are going out to vote. They've already started, but up until April 21st. And we want to highlight and ask some questions about, and provide information rather, about the why and what we need to do. We're going to keep this conversational as much as we can, but more importantly, we just want to provide that information to you. Kimberly Ward, who is the political advocate here at Bethany Baptist Church here in Chesapeake, Virginia. She is our special, I want to call an expert. I know, I see, you see her face. To help us understand about the necessity and like once again, provide the information because we're going to be nonpartisan in this conversation. Yes. So, hello, how are you, Kimberly?
Hello, Dr. Ju. I am well today.
Good.
Very well.
Good.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to providing information.
Yes.
About to our viewers in regards to the need to vote early.
Yes.
Now, this is different because I was at the at a ministers' conference not too long ago. They were highlighting the direction to vote, whereas even more importantly, we traditionally have November elections,
right?
And this is a special election.
Yes.
So we were really highlighting the fact that we got to fix our minds that this is an election as well that we need to be a part of.
Yes.
Very
yes,
important.
Is.
Very important election. So we're going to dive in and ask some questions right now, and we can provide the information to our viewers.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do my best.
First question. For those who may not be familiar, can you explain in simple terms what this April 21st referendum is and why it matters to everyday individuals in Virginia?
It's a loaded question.
Yeah.
But I'll do my best to simplify it. But to piggyback off of what you said, this is an election that is outside of the normal cycle.
Correct.
It is a proposed amendment to amend the state constitution of Virginia in reference to drawing district lines. Usually, the redrawing of the district lines occurs after a census year. So the last time this happened was in 2021. And we all can remember in 2021, we were smack dab in the middle of COVID.
Yes.
So you can understand if everyone's attention was diverted and because the whole world shut down at that time. So now we're at the point where we're looking at it, but particularly with this election, if you vote yes, it will allow the districting lines to actually take effect 1 year prior. So instead of it taking effect in 2031, it will take effect in 2030. Now, that does not mean that the outcome won't take effect until then. The outcome could possibly be seen as soon as the midterm elections in November. And that is key because, because right now our General Assembly, they are our lawmaking body. So any changes to the Virginia Assembly can sway the political foundation either way. So it's not, the question is a yes or no question, but the outcome has so many layers to it. So in my opinion, that is why it's so important to exercise your right to vote. And it's just one question. So why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're in and out.
Right. Yes.
Now, as a ministry leader, how do you connect faith with civic engagement, especially when it comes to something like on these types of elections?
Oh, well, the first thing comes to mind is faith without works is dead. So you can have as much faith as you want. You can pray to God, ask Him for guidance and all of that. But if you don't do anything with it, it's almost as if you didn't do anything.
Wow.
So why do we advocate? Why do we partner? Why are we out here trying to get people to vote? Why are we trying to inform people? Why are we picking up people and taking them to the polls? We don't know what the outcome is going to be. So that is faith. So you're walking in faith on each one of those touch points, and not knowing how the outcome is going to turn out. But you just pray. You ask God that whatever I do, that it be in glory to you. And on the flip side of that, you're helping your community. My people do not perish. It's the lack of information.
Correct. That's right.
And then you have to be very guarded. You have to guard your ear gate. You have to guard your eye gate in reference to the information that you're taking in.
Correct.
And a lot of us naturally are going to look from our own lens, which is okay. But you definitely have to weigh the pros and cons and make the decision that's best for you, make the decision that's best for your family. And in the years to come, we have to look beyond today. So that's how I connect the two between faith and civic engagement.
Personally, why is this referendum important in your perspective?
In my perspective, it's important because, like I said earlier, it has so many layers. And there's been a lot of news coverage in reference to other states that has started this, or been the catalyst. You talk about Texas, you talk about California, North Carolina, and it's just been a huge uproar. And something that I really think is a big deal is that the fact that it's even come to a referendum, that it's even come to a proposal, because in my opinion, that gives the people an opportunity to speak on how they want their districts represented. And it's not just to give you a little background information. Usually it's a commission, and it's a bipartisan commission. So there's a mixture of Republicans and Democrats and independents, but it's still a commission, and they come together, and they are the ones that are responsible for drawing the district lines. And that's how it's been heretofore. So particularly with this election, it will put that power in the hands of the people. And to me, that's no bigger example of individuals exercising their right to vote. You actually have a say in how you want your district to be shaped. And how your district is shaped has a direct correlation in how your community is going to be represented on what we call the Hill. Whether the Hill is, the General Assembly in Richmond, or whether the Hill is on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. It's all connected.
Wow. Looking ahead, if this referendum were to pass, what tangible changes would everyday Virginians notice in the representation and conduct of their elections?
One,
this is very important.
It is very important because you could possibly see this play out as early as the November midterm elections, which is right around the corner.
Yes, it is.
And we have seen how close these midterm elections, and oftentimes the midterm elections, in my opinion, have just as much weight as we put on the presidential election. Because you can see how the House will sway. And when you have a majority in the House, whether it's Republican or whether it's Democrat, the way the legislative and the way the laws are executed, it affects the community so quickly. You may have legislation on the table that one party put forth that may ostracize a particular community.
Okay.
You may have other legislation that may put forth that may propel a certain community. So these are outcomes that are going to be seen immediately in the community. No different than what we see now with the recent election of Abigail Spanberger, our first female elected governor in the state of Virginia, and the legislation that she and her administration are putting forth, and some of the, I guess I say some of the legislation that she's pulling back, sometimes, which is equally important.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about, the impact that's going to be felt, sometimes it's a lot different. I believe this election is a lot different. Then we're not going to have to wait until a year or two where, we're seeing the impact. I think we're going to feel it immediately.
Question, contrary to that, what happens if voters choose not to support?
If voters choose not to support, it's just going to be status quo. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be, as people say, it is what it is. You're still going to have the bipartisan commission.
Yeah.
Democrats, Republicans, and independents. Those are the core people that are going to make the decision on how you are represented. Wow. So nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. My opinion personally, that lessens the power of the people. And that's what we've always stood for, the power of the people. So when people say, well, what's the downside? Well, if you're okay with the status quo, and if you're okay with this core group of people making that decision for you, then, I guess there's no harm in that. But if you want to take an active role in your community, this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it. Like I said, the last time, this only happens usually once every 10 years, which is after the census. 10 years is a long time.
Absolutely.
10 years is a very long time. So do we want to wait another 10 years before you have the opportunity to impact change in your community? I say no.
Yeah. I
say no to that.
Yeah.
Not no to the question. Yes to the question. Yes to the question. Yes. But I say no to the fact that this commission, and heretofore, I'm sure that they've done their due diligence. But then again, that can be argued as well.
Yeah. So we're wrapping up now. I have to ask this question because I see you're passionate about this. Where does that passion come from?
Dr. Drew, I'm going to be very transparent with you in a moment. That passion came when I myself was stripped of my right to vote, my right to bear arm, because of a felony conviction. I had a conviction of embezzlement, white collar crime, but when they look at your background, a felony is a felony. Wow. So the fact that I went through that, and I went through it at a time when President Obama was running for election. And I did not have an opportunity to cast my vote.
Oh, my goodness.
I worked for his campaign, but it's almost as if you get right there. And I couldn't. And I said, never again. Yeah. Never again. So the fact that I'm able to take an active role in my community, I take that very seriously. And to let people know there is a path back to where you were. There is a path back to getting your rights restored. There is a path back to being an active member in society and casting your vote. There is a pathway to that. It may take some time, but if you stick to it and you work with it, I now have my notary. I'm an elections officer for the city of Chesapeake, and I work in my ministry. And it gives me so much joy to be able to register people to vote, to tell them about their restoration of rights. Some individuals may not know it is a process. However,
You can do it.
You can do it. You can work your way back. So
Yes.
that's where I draw my passion from. That's what propels me. That's what motivates me, to let individuals know you have every right to fight for your right. And the fact that when things are taken from you, sometimes you don't always realize, how valuable they are until you're not able to use them and you're not able to exercise them again. And I said, never again will I let this happen.
Wow.
And if I can, register one person, I'm good with that. Yeah.
You can go vote right now.
Yes.
Voting is started. You need, however you're going to vote, just go ahead and vote now.
Yes.
Voting ends on April the 21st. Any parting words?
I would just employ people just to do their due diligence. Protect your ear gate, protect your eye gate, and ask God to guide your decisions. In everything, seek Him. In everything. People will tell you and try to sway you one way and sway you the other way. Ask God to guide you. And please, 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 take someone to the polls with you. Make announcements, at your house of faith, at your church, your fraternities, your sororities. This is very important.
It is.
And it's just one question. It's just one question.
That's it.
So.
State of Virginia, it is very important to galvanize your partnerships, as Kimberly just said. She just shared that vital information that you need to galvanize these groups. Go make your voice heard. Thank you so much for this moment, and we're trusting that you will go out and exercise your right. Thank you.